before Cars on the Road came out, I gotta say I had never really heard of the Salt Flats, and it's actually a real-life landmark in Utah in the States. It's just this incredibly large, naturally formed area of flat land, and all it is salt for as far as the eye can see. And I don't know, I think there's a lot of mining that goes on there, but also, there's a lot of racing that goes on there. And I think it was just such a perfect opportunity to bring in some race cars into Cars on the Road, because of course we didn't really have the Piston Cup or anything like that, so we're kind of limited on racing. I didn't really know if we'd get any racing, and I'm not really opposed to that, because 2 of the movies have really focused heavily on the Piston Cup, and then Cars 2 kind of focused on the World Grand Prix, but kind of not also at the same time. But either way, today we're going to be taking a look at one of the racers that actually raced on the Salt Flats. We never really saw him race, but we saw him getting ready to race on the Salt Flats in the 3rd episode of Cars on the Road called Salt Fever. So welcome on back to the Cars Garage, everyone. As you can see, today we're going to be taking a look at Royce Redsley. So Royce, he's actually a really cool Volkswagen Bug. And I don't know, does he actually have the logo on him or anything? He definitely has, the same shape, but I'm not sure if he's an official Bug. I guess we'll find out when we look at the base. But yeah, he is very cool looking car, very nice looking model. Kind of reminds me of the Easter Buggy who we just reviewed a few days ago for Easter time, because he's kind of got that dune buggy type shape. He's not really a dune buggy, I wouldn't say, but he's still, I guess he kind of is in a way. What makes a dune buggy a dune buggy? The shape? I don't know. But he's got that cage contraption in the back. He's got that giant spoke on his, on his top, not really on his head, but on the back there. So I don't know, he certainly looks like a dune buggy to me, but he actually raced on the Salt Flats in Cars on the Road. Like I said, we never got to see him race, unfortunately, but it's nice to get him as a diecast, and he was actually one of the very first diecasts to get released in the Cars on the Road mainline, which is just kind of intertwined with the regular 2022 and 2023 Cars diecast mainline from Mattel. I believe the first case he was in was probably, I don't know, was it M? I don't think it was M. I think it was the one before that, which would be maybe L? I don't know, because I'm kind of blanking out, but I'll check later and I'll make sure I know which one he was in. But he was in the same case with a bunch of other, first looks from Cars on the Road, like I think Dad's Jammin' and Griswold, possibly Greebles, Revo Koss, I know for sure. But yeah, and I think even K-Pillar Durev. So a lot of new cars were in that case, and it was a great case. I don't know, I think it was the same case flipped over was in, so I think that was case M, or case L, one of those. Either way, he was new for 2022, got that cool old TV logo. always boggles my mind as to why they put that, in the shape of an old TV. I guess it's because the show Cars on the Road is a TV show, but I think it would be more beneficial to write new for 2022 also, but under that or something, right, watch now or stream now on Disney Plus. I don't know, because, it's only on Disney Plus. It's not like you can really get it on DVD or anything, so I don't know. I'm surprised they didn't really put anything and mention Disney Plus at all on here. But, yeah, they didn't at all. But very nice artwork for Royce Redsley. You can see he doesn't have any of the salt on his tires on the artwork, and he barely even has it on his tires in the show. It's a little bit. I think maybe he just got back from racing, or he's just about to race. Either way, if you go on the Salt Flats, your tires are going to get a little bit salty. We know that. But, look at this diecast. Does this look like what salt, how salt attaches to a tire? 100% no. That is just horrible, Mattel. We'll talk more about that later. It boggles my mind as to why they would completely cake the salt onto the tires, and then they didn't even do the base. At least I think on Revo. Yeah, they did the base on Revo. Then there's another one from 2023 up there, Kirsten Marshall, who I just got, and he doesn't have any salt at all on his tires. So I really don't know what Mattel is doing, but I wish they would have just left them all black and just not bothered with the salt at all. But they wanted to try to put salt on the tires, and I think they miserably failed. But I guess we'll have to, judge them once we actually get them on the package. On the back, as seen in Cars on the Road, only got 6 cars instead of 7. I don't know why. I think the last one, K-Pillar Durev, only had 6 on the back too. We got Racing Center Cruise, or as they're calling her now, Rusty's Dynaco Cruise for some reason, because even though she doesn't have any Rusty's or Dynaco, I guess she kind of has Dynaco, but she doesn't have any Rusty's decals. That's kind of weird. And we have Road Trip Lightning McQueen, just the original variant, not the 2023 one. K-Pillar Durev, Speed Demon, Griswold, and Royce Redsley himself. Don't know why he's on the back of his own card back, but that seems to happen for a lot of cars. This packaging though, I do really like it, I must say. Mattel did a good job designing it. I think if Mattel, they must design it, right? I don't know, I doubt it's Pixar that designs the packaging, but I do love it. I think it looks awesome. I love all the little details. We have the volcano there, the mountains from Carburetor County. There is a salt flats. It's labeled with words because you can't really show anything to represent flat land. You know, there's not really much, many landmarks there other than the salt, and you can't really show that on a map, so it's funny how they wrote it. Then we got Willie's Butte and the cone for the circus with the flag in it. But, yeah, we have a few other salt flats racers already. We have the Speed Demon, of course. She's not a racer, but she did appear in the episode. And we have Revo Cost, but other than Revo, I guess that's my only Salt Flats racer. The only other cars I have unboxed so far are Kay and Griswold. So, I definitely need to get this one open. And Ivy, the monster truck, is actually out for delivery right now. So, I'm waiting to get her soon. But without any further ado, let's get Royce Redsley all opened up. Well, here is Royce, and he does look incredible, I must say. I'm not a big fan of those salty tires, but other than that, I think he looks incredible. And I can't wait to take a closer look at him now, because he's got so many cool, little decals on him. I have no idea what any of them mean, because unfortunately we don't really know anything about Royce, other than that he is an import. So, McQueen kind of says that in Cars on the Road when him and Mater are pulling into the salt flats. He basically tells us, because that's where the camera's pointing, he tells us that Revo Costs, this guy, he tells us he is a classic rod, and then he tells us Royce Redsley is like an import, I think he says, I think that's the word he uses, an import. So it kind of reminds me of the World Grand Prix racers, they're all coming from different countries type of thing, but I don't think that's the point of the salt flats. I think there probably is a lot of American racers at the salt flats, so I don't know if it's all international racers. I really don't know how that works. Like I said, I haven't even heard of the salt flats before Cars on the Road, so I'm not really too sure on that. It's definitely not my forte of knowledge. But I'll tell you anything you want to know about the Piston Cup. Either way, let's get McQueen and Mater out of here now. And let's just zoom in and take a closer look at Royce Redsley. I love his name. I love the look of him, the colors. It's all just very cool. And he does seem very young. I don't know why. I just feel like he looks like a young car. And this font right here, the NIC, no idea what that means, but it definitely looks like some sort of college uniform font. I don't know how to describe it, but a lot of colleges use that as their logo and stuff like that. That sort of, very kind of sharp and boxy font. I don't know what it's actually called, but I'm going to call it the college font. But I don't know what it stands for, NIC. Some people were speculating it could mean Northern Illinois College, but that wouldn't really make sense because, he's supposed to be an import. I mean, I guess that doesn't mean he can't go to a college in Illinois, but I don't know. I'm just not really sure. If he's an import, then where is he imported from? Probably, maybe, I don't know, Germany, I would say, because he is a Volkswagen, right? So I'm not really too sure. Maybe if you guys know any information about this guy, which I kind of know you do, because nobody seems to, then please let me know in the comments down below. But he's got quite a few little decals on him. Underneath the NIC, whatever that stands for, it says OLAS 523A, and then he's got 523A there again. So that must be some sort of code, that's unique to him. Revo has something kind of like that, but it's not the exact same. He has an actual number, 115, and then he's got that code up there, J12071. So I don't really know why, Royce has so many numbers, because then he's got another number up here, 1215A. I mean, not all numbers, there's some letters in there too, but or is that an R actually? I don't know if it's an R. I don't know. It's just very confusing, I wish we knew a bit more about him. And then, oh my goodness, we have another number up there. What? Is that this? Oh, that's the same number, 523A. So, I don't know, is that his racing number maybe? Why does it have the letter A in it? I could not tell you. I don't really know. Very cool dip in his nose though. He's a very long looking car, but he's really not. He's pretty small, to be honest, but it just makes him appear to be longer. Some yellow stripes on his hood, and they kind of go off to the distance. Some nice silver trim. little, tiny little like indent there, or like a little embossment there. Another embossment right there, little circle. And then a lot of silver trim like over his wheel wells and everything. Looks pretty cool. He has a wheel well on the back, but not on the front. So a lot of these, like wheel wells and stuff are all stripped away from these salt flats racers, basically just to help them go faster on the salt flats, because that's really the whole point of it. You want to go as fast as, you possibly can. And, that's why they kind of like strip off anything that would weigh them down, basically. So I find that interesting that he would keep it on the back. It is metal though, it's kind of nice, because the Easter Buggy's wheel well was plastic, all of them were. So nice to get some metal. Oh yeah, there actually is something pretty cool about Royce, and it's underneath him, that I gotta show you guys later. But first, take a look at the back. Really cool, like brown, grayish, I guess it's gray, cage contraption here, with, I guess that's his engine back there, I would assume. He's got the big spoke in the back for his exhaust. And I don't know what this thing is actually called in technical terms, but it's very cool, and Francesco has one. Of course, much, much smaller, but Royce's is just absolutely massive. So I don't know what that is. It's got some, some little red lines on it, and it's got that number once again, 1215R. But I wish I knew more about, what that is. I guess he kind of reminds me of a dune buggy, even though he's technically not, I don't think, because he's a salt flats racer. But I don't know. I'm not really sure what this is actually called, but it's very cool, and it's huge looking. It definitely makes him look taller. And then he's got this tiny little thing here, and that is, okay, I was going to say a little plastic piece here, but I can't really hold it out any longer. Check out the base. He has a completely metal base. When does that happen? You can feel it, and it's actually cold to the touch. That is pretty darn cool, Mattel. I was pretty shocked when I first found this out. I don't know why. He's actually pretty much the first car to ever have a metal base, to my knowledge at least. I think the only other one was Millie in 2021, when she was first released. She has a metal base, but that's a pity, That probably just helps because, they wanted to make her a little more heavy so that you'd buy her. But this, I don't really know why Royce would have a metal base. I really don't. This is actually pretty cool. I wish they all had metal bases, but I was pretty shocked by this, the first to find this out. I was trying to keep it a surprise, but then once I got down there, I was going to say plastic piece, like I usually do, but then, wow, it's not. It's actually completely made of metal. So, I gotta say that's a nice surprise, Mattel. Thank you for including a metal base. I just don't really know how that's beneficial to them, They definitely make themselves seem very cheap in a lot of ways, and then they just pull a fast one on us and do something like that. Who looks at the base anyways, to be honest? I wouldn't really care if it's metal or not, but it's nice. Obviously, I definitely would prefer a metal base. Why not, right? But, it's just the little things, I guess, that they do. Sometimes it just kind of confuses me, but also makes me kind of glad, I guess. Now, he does have a plastic eye plate, as you can see there. Zoom back in. But it is a nice one. I don't know, the red on it is a little iffy. I wouldn't say it's applied perfectly, but there's not much red paint, so you can't really complain too much about it. But yeah, I really do like this car. I love all the decals on him. Looks really cool. And I would say he's probably definitely from some sort of college. He looks very young. I don't really know how I can tell that. I can't. I guess I have some sort of cool ability to be able to tell a car's age. Not really. But I don't like the tires. That's my one complaint. I'm really glad. I don't know, it's weird. I'm glad they didn't do the base the same color as the wheels, like the salty cream color, I guess. But I don't know why they did the tires. It doesn't make any sense to me. Because on Revo Cost, the other salt flats racer, they did the tires that caked it on there for some reason. But then they also did the base, which doesn't look good. But it just surprises me. Like even the back bumper they did, and that shouldn't be cream. That shouldn't be salty. It just doesn't make any sense. Why they do it on some cars, not on others. Peggy Liner, the extremely long salt flats racer from the 11 pack. I don't have her yet, but hopefully I can get her soon. And she actually has a salty base as well. I think Dad's Jammin' has a salty base with salty tires. But then Kirsten Marshall from 2023, who we'll be reviewing very soon, he does not have any of that. He just has a completely black base and black tires. So, I don't know, it kind of confuses me as to why they pick and choose which cars to put salt on. Really wish they'd either, just keep it consistent, Mattel. either doing on all of them or doing on none, and honestly I'd prefer if they did it on none. Now it seems like he's got the exact same, yeah, he really does. Looks like even almost the same size maybe. Actually no, not quite, never mind. I was gonna say the same exact tires, just a different rim color. But no, I guess they're slightly smaller in the back and front, I would say. Yeah, they definitely look to be smaller on Royce, which makes sense. But he does look pretty cool. I can't say that I'm complaining about this diecast. I mean, we got a metal base out of it, so that definitely earns him some extra points and kind of makes up for the ugly tires, I would say. But, you know, it still doesn't look good, and hopefully they fix it one day. Give us an actual better looking Royce. They'll probably do that, and then they'll make the plastic base or something silly. But I do want to quickly show the Easter Buggy just because they are very similar kind of looking. He just looks like a scaled down version of the Easter Buggy. I mean, to be honest, he kind of does. Got the same sort of engine in the back, spokes, or the exhaust. But, I mean, it's not Easter time anymore, so I can't say he looks that similar to him. But, other than that, I can't say I have really anything else to compare him to. I don't really have any Volkswagen Bugs, I don't think. Obviously, I think Flick, the bug from A Bug's Life, when they kind of like carified that in the end credits of Cars, I think he's a Volkswagen Bug. There was one from Cars 3, Xanadu Bumpers. I don't have him though. So other than that, I can't think of any other Volkswagen Bugs that I would have to compare Royce to. But he is a very cool car. We got Mater, Road Trip McQueen, and Revo Koss. And let's put him back there, because of course we had to make room for the Speed Demon. So yeah, we have quite a few Salt Flats members now. Gotta open Dad's Jammin', and the reason I waited so long to open up Royce Redsley is because I was waiting to get that 2-pack he's in, because he is available quite a lot of different ways. He was originally from Case L, like I said, just as a single, but then he was actually in the Salt Fever 11-pack with Peggy Liner, the exclusive car, and then before that they actually released him in a 2-pack with Dad's Jammin', one of the racing 2-packs with the, you know, the little tiny accessories and all that. So I was waiting to get that so then I could open them together, but I can't seem to find that 2-pack, so I ended up getting a second Royce. I found one at Toys R Us, so I just picked him up, and I wanted to review him for you guys. But he is a really cool looking car, for sure. Just not a big fan of those tires, so hopefully one day Mattel decides to fix it and just do some black tires. But look forward to my next review, which will definitely be Ivy from the new Amazon 3-pack. I've got it coming in. Actually says it's out for delivery right now, so I'm pretty excited. And then, of course, we'll have to review the new Road Trip McQueen and Mater as well, because they have new expressions, the ones that are in that pack. So, a lot of fun stuff to come. And also, Kirsten Marshall. Just got him as a single, so I can't wait to open him up as well. But anyways, let me know down below which race car from the Salt Fever episode of Cars on the Road was your favorite. I gotta say, for now, mine is probably Royce Redsley. I do really like him. He's a very cool looking car. And I've always loved Volkswagen Bugs. I like when they do them in the world of cars. And now I finally got one, because I don't think I had one beforehand, but I'm not really sure. I'll have to go back and check. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see y'all next time on the Cars Garage.